Okay. Did I just fucking take a chaser for coffee? God. Anyways, hello! Today I want you to imagine that you are a child soldier conscripted into fighting for the First Order. You train for years, honing your skills in combat and becoming an impressive opponent. Your legion watches after you, keeping you in peak fighting condition and casing you in state-of-the-art combat armor. You are given the honor of defending Starkiller Base and take your new position with gratitude and fervor. Then, one day, the Resistance arrives. They stand no chance against you. You are well-trained, well-equipped, battle-hardened, and instilled with drive and purpose. And then you get killed by a fucking soccer ball lazily swinging a cable at your shins. Now you see, this video was born out of a drunken comment that I made to my brother, but I've been thinking about it non-stop for the better part of a week, and it's all but consumed my mind. My brother said that today's Battlefront 2 didn't have the same kind of pull or pizzazz that the original one did, but he couldn't really verbalize why that was. I had a couple of Tangerine Express hazy IPAs by Stone Brewing, which are absolutely delicious and would absolutely be a product I would be willing to talk about more in the future in exchange for free 6-packs. So Stone, if you're interested, hit me up. I could probably net you like a customer. In the midst of my hazy vibe, I told my brother that the game didn't feel the same because of the sequels content. And I'm gonna be straight with you, dear viewer. If you are a huge fan of the Star Wars sequels, you're probably not gonna have the best time in this video. There's a lot to be said about the sequels, but to clarify what I meant when I said that the sequels content specifically is what hurts the modern Battlefront 2, let's take a gander at the maps first. In the universe of Star Wars, you've got an entire galaxy of possibilities and options for new realms and terrain. In the prequels, they used some of that potential. You got some bangers like Polis Massa, Megiddo, Utapau, and the Jedi Temple, all of which offer a glimpse into a new environment and all of which feel unique and interesting. I mean, even going beyond Battlefront specifically, we've seen crazy places with prequels content like Cato Nemoidia, Nar Shaddaa, Manaan, and tons of other planets through the games and other mediums. To put it simply, the shit from the prequel era is just so much cooler than the sequels. We've seen the subterranean crater world of Utapau with its exoskeletal architecture and tons of verticality. We've seen the asteroid medical facility of Polis Massa, where you're either fighting in close quarters indoors or exposing yourself to the vacuum of space as you fight with tanks outside. And now we have a forest. Just a forest, but Slave 1 is like kinda parked there, so that's cool. And then there's Snow Planets 1 and 2, Electric Boogaloo, I fucking know it's salt, and get out of my comments. And then there's another forest, and another goddamn desert, and that's pretty much it. I mean, for real, when you're trying to make exciting maps for your sci-fi game, who made the call to create a normal, earthly forest that leads up to Wish.com Jabba's palace? And this issue just runs so much deeper. As a kid, going from an AT-AT to an ATTE was cool. It was a new design with cooler weapons, it was modernized, it was stocky, it was chunky, and it seemed more practical and powerful than what we had seen before. But what the shit is an ATM-6? Who got paid to say, hey yo, slap gorilla knuckles on that thing and let's call it a day? I'm getting way sidetracked here, but let's get back to the topic at hand. The prequels are far from perfect, but the way that the worlds and characters from the prequels were taken and fleshed out in the games was undoubtedly one of the biggest reasons why I really got into Star Wars. When you can play as Ki-Adi-Mundi or Aayla Secura and the clones are talking at length about how cool they are, it makes you more interested in them. When they're on the same roster as Luke Skywalker or Obi-Wan, it makes them seem more important and powerful and helps cement their place in the universe. You look at the rosters and you're like, okay, so I have everybody who's important from the original trilogy here, so these guys in the prequel trilogy, they must be pretty damn important too. So why the fuck, out of all possible characters in this galaxy, out of all of the Jedi, all of the minor heroes, all of the bounty hunters, all of the fan favorites, why is this little shit in the game? I know it may seem like I'm too passionate about such a stupid subject, but we could have had a patch with Ahsoka and Asajj. We could have had a patch with Poe Dameron and Hux, maybe? Yeah, sure, Hux. Could have had Hux. The point is we could have had two more interesting characters with interactions and voice lines, different skins, better abilities, but we got these two little dumbass soccer balls. I'm in too deep at this point. I gotta keep going. I just said soccer balls, right? That right there is an issue in itself. If we observe episode 7, we can see that BB-8 stands damn near Rey's waist. In the game, he's more like this. This is a fucking problem, because in Battlefront 2, you can't shoot through your teammates' bodies or their shields. So imagine pushing through a choke point with your teammates, trying to get away from grenades and blaster fire, and then you hear and now it falls to you to be the one to at least try to weave shots through your team's legs to damage this tiny ass ball that can, and I am not exaggerating here, one-shot every single one of you with a single button press. What is happening? I press F on Maul and he goes ripping through the enemy team like the world's first bipedal Beyblade, but it's like my lightsaber turns into pixie dust? But I whack these soldiers in full combat armor with a cable? And they all die? Dude, why? How? Who? Even R2-D2 can't fight enemies like that. R2 almost gets juked and murdered by a buzz droid and only manages to fight off 2 super battle droids by using his bubonic bukkake. R2 is loaded with gadgets that could kill somebody, but he never gets this chance because he is a service droid. And that's not to say that R2 hasn't been featured in combat games before. He has. R2 and 3PO both make an appearance in Empire at War, but they're very slow, very vulnerable, and they can't attack. It's their job to sneak onto enemy planets and steal their technology, which makes sense. Imagine if we had a droid hero that could override AT-AT targeting systems, take over turrets at range, or if they could pull some BD-1 shit and pop a stim into an allied unit to instantly heal them. That would be fine, but it isn't what's been done. These droids, man. God, these droids. I mean, it's really just BB-8. I don't think I've seen a single soul play the evil one, but who can blame them? Who's gonna intentionally pick this Jurgen von Strangle haircut looking ass ball over Darth Maul, Vader, Grievous, Dooku, Sheev, Wait, Phasma's in this game? Huh. There is something to be said for the badassery of darkside heroes. Are you really picking BB-9E over ferocious throwing force choking slaughter spinning Maul? No. But would you pick cable spinning multi-killing ankle breaking BB-8 over Vape God Nerf Blaster Lando? Maybe. Because let's be honest, when you're dropping 4,000 points, you're looking to play a character that can really clap cheeks and pop off. And don't get me wrong, you can pop off with the ball droids. I mean, I was just making the case for why BB-8 smoking a squadron of stormtroopers was bullshit, right? But the thing is, if you get within 15 feet, or for people with healthcare, about 5 meters of another hero, you're getting erased. But this is the case for a lot of light side heroes. What if you're playing Lando or Leia and Vader suddenly starts insisting that social distancing is an infringement of his rights? You're done. Because it's Darth fucking Vader. This kind of bleeds into another larger issue here with the heroes that deserves some discussion. Let's run down the pew pew crew of each roster right quick, shall we? Boba Fett has a jetpack, missile barrage, concussion missile, wrist launcher, flamethrower melee attack, and radar to find enemies. Bosk, insanely fun sniper rifle, minefield, gas canisters, some sort of ability born out of a Junkrat vs Predator fanfiction, and a 9-foot vertical leap. You got Iden, she's got an AoE stun droid, nutty sniper rifle, personal shield, basically an LAPD officer from 2025. Phasma, big stick, big health, big bitch. You've got so much heat with these characters, and when we go to the blaster heroes for the light side, it's just kinda like, here, take one of these and call me in the morning. Probably from a medical frigate. Or heaven. I mean, each one has a little something, like Leia's detonators, Finn's buff, Han's shoulder, Lando's, cape, and Chewie's, I assume, absolutely whopping penis. But even a wicked Wamba Wookiee Wonderwang doesn't make up for how ass this lineup is compared to this one. And I don't mean in terms of playability. Han, Leia, and Finn are all really good picks, but the issue I have that connects all of it to the ball droids is that they're too strong for what they are. Lightsaber heroes are in their own class because Force users are understandably strong. Typically, if you don't have a lightsaber or mastery of the Force and you face off against someone who does, you get dunked on. The ones who can give Force users a run for their money are the ones who are well equipped and built for combat. That's why I feel like the dark side blaster heroes are better. It feels better to play a character that has unique abilities that let you understand, oh, this is why people are scared of Bossk, goddamn. With the light side heroes, there's no reason at all for them to be able to pick off Palpatine or Boba Fett on their own, so they each just got a rather...
It's high noon. I've got you in my sights.
Familiar ability to make up for that. I'm still new at making videos like this, so let me try to get my point in order here. Sequels content is uninteresting, in my opinion, compared to what already exists in Star Wars. I think people would have been much more excited about niche characters from other parts of Star Wars being added to the game than they were about the ball droids. I can see that the dedicated sequel hero roster without the ball droids is kinda tragic, so I understand why they were added, but I don't think that they were the best options. I think what we're left with now is a selection of heroes that are way overtuned for what they are, when we could have had a selection of heroes that made sense and deserved more attention. My whole point about Ki-Adi-Mundi and Aayla Secura was that they were relatively unknown characters before Battlefront, before they were put in the game. Having them in there generated more interest about them, and it helped people get more invested in the prequels. When the whole hero roster is already made up of all of the main characters from the movies, it's not all that interesting. You already know all of them, you know everything about their characters. And typically, the ones that you don't know all that well are the most interesting ones because you get to learn more about them while you're playing them. You get to discover something else about the realm of Star Wars, about the universe of Star Wars, while you're playing the game through this character. You get to learn about something new instead of just playing as something that's already established. That's why I'm bummed that we just got a beeping ball. I would have loved to learn more about this lady, or maybe... Oh my god, there literally aren't any other villains in the sequels trilogy. Good lord. But that is my beef. The ball droids don't add any other voice lines or interesting interactions like the other characters do to build up lesser known characters. And because it makes absolutely no goddamn sense to have BB-8 be capable of killing a man, they just kinda gave him a gap closer and Reaper's ultimate and set him loose. We've seen droid companions in a lot of Star Wars games, but they're almost always supportive characters. They're not supposed to be built for combat, and I don't think it fits. But I get that in a game like this, most players wouldn't want to take a supportive backseat role to pocket their teammates. It's just, the game isn't built for that, and I get it. I'm still just salty about it. So, thank you for listening to my gripes about the ball droids. I know I was kind of all over the place, but I hope that my points got through, and I hope it was fun to watch more than anything. I do think that the ball droids offer some fun to the game, I just think other characters could have offered more. If you enjoyed the video, I would very much appreciate your subscription, and if you think the video deserves it, a like would go a long way as well. Thank you very much for watching if you did. I appreciate your time, and I will see you on the battlefront soon. This last little bit is just a note to my current subscribers. I just wanted to say thank you so much for the amount of feedback and support that you gave on my last Spore video. It gave me so much motivation to push forward with all the other videos that I've been wanting to make, and we got to 500 subscribers, which is fucking crazy. It's so sick, and I appreciate every single one of you. It's not lost on me how valuable your time is and how insane it is that you gave it to me to watch my videos. Fucking gnarly. I love all of you. So cool. As for the channel, I just wanted to say that I know that none of you really know that much about me yet, and we can get to that shit in other videos if people actually give a fuck about it. But the whole point is that these videos do take me a while to make. Like, this one took me like about, I want to say like over 20 hours between like farming clips, getting audio, doing all this other shit, and like getting it the way that I wanted to. It takes a minute, and I only have like 2 to 3 hours a night to work on it from like 10 to 1 a.m. But yeah, I am aiming to do about 2 videos a month, hopefully. Hopefully not 1 video a month. Hopefully 2. Hopefully 2 is the target that I'm hitting, or the target that I'm aiming for. So that is the update and what you can expect from me. It's gonna be videos on a bunch of different topics, maybe not even video games, to be honest. Gonna be doing a lot of other stuff that I've just always wanted to make. But yeah, that's what's in store. That's what you can expect. I appreciate you being here and sticking around, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you.